Alright, here's a quick update on the RG550 Genesis. So I've done a few videos on this guitar, and I did the first review mentioning that this guitar was unstable, and I had to set it up a few times. And that is true, I had to set it up like 4 times. And since then, maybe because it overheard me and got scared, because that's clearly how it works, or maybe I found the setup sweet spot, but this guitar has been rock solid ever since. So maybe this isn't the most robust guitar at first, but if you know how to set up a guitar, hence the many attempts, then maybe it has all the right stuff to be great. But through persistence, this has become one of my top players. Like in my top 2 right now, actually. So maybe that's not good for beginners or even low intermediates, or people who just don't have that much practice setting up guitars. But once you do get the setup, then it's pretty good. So also a word of warning then too, if you take this to the Guitar Center guy or whatever shop, if the guy doesn't care who you're paying to set it up, then maybe this won't be that great. But if you put in the time and effort to learn how to do the setup, which isn't too hard, but it isn't easy, then you will be able to get a super shredder with your own setup. You know, you got to make sure the neck, the action isn't too low there. Got to make sure the action isn't too high here. You measure on the 12th fret. There it is. And you've pretty much got it. So it's basically truss rod set up for down here, bridge height for up here. And you eventually get it after trying a few things and letting it sit for a day or 2 after that. Another thing about this guitar, it's the trem arm. It's come kind of loose. See, it's right here. I prefer it here and to stay in place, but as you can see, it comes loose. And this is the fastest the bushings have come loose or gotten worn through or whatever for one of my made in Japan Ibanez guitars, because technically this is not a Prestige, but it is made in Japan. So this is pretty frustrating. If I was an actual trem user on this guitar, I'd be super disappointed, but I was planning to block this bridge anyway because I'm not a trem user, just personally my playing style. I don't use the trem arm too much. I've got nothing against dive bombs and flutters and all those cool tricks. With the trem, you can basically add vibrato to chords because you can play the chord and then give it the vibrato right there, for example. That's one cool trick you can do. But I just don't really do that too much unless I'm really trying to do it. And forcing things isn't part of my creative process. So this isn't the end of the world that the trem thing is coming loose. Well, sometimes it sticks. But this isn't the end of the world that it's inconsistent. But it would be a bummer if you're a major trem user and you need it to stay locked in every time. Another thing, I'm still trying to figure out how to capture this color on video. Maybe it's something with my camera, because in my posts and my YouTube shorts, you can see more of the true color of this guitar, but it's that Road Flare red. So it's more of a neon red orange, and then in the shadows, there's a little hint of pink. But this is not an orange guitar. Just with my video setup, for whatever reason, every other guitar looks great, but this particular guitar just looks straight up orange. And I personally don't mind too much. I'm not against the color orange. But I do want to portray some useful and honest information to you, the viewer. So this guitar looking orange on the videos, that's not completely honest. So I'm still trying to figure that out, although it isn't a top priority. I'm trying to make good videos, informative videos. I'm trying to record songs. I've got actually 3 in the pipeline right now. I'm trying to get them released. Trying to put them on streaming services. For the covers, I'm trying to get them licensed. So making this guitar look red-orange instead of orange isn't my top priority, but I do gotta let you, the viewer, know that this isn't just a straight-up orange guitar. I did release a video recently about fretboard material, stuff like that. The maple on this neck does feel fantastic. The maple neck itself, you could see the neck is maple, is terrific too. I know it's not roasted maple, but it's been pretty stable overall. The true test is going to be this winter when the temperature does get colder and the humidity decreases. We'll see what happens, if there's any fret sprout or if the neck does any weird bowing things or anything. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated. But the neck as a whole and the neck profile and how it plays has just been fantastic. Again, it's in my top 2. My top 2 was my RGA and this guitar, But as I've been recording some more stuff, I've been using my Pia more, and that has the stainless steel frets and the rosewood fretboard, and I've really been favoring that. And then that's actually tied with this right now, just because the setup here is fresh, the neck profile is excellent, the action is super low, it's super shreddy, and the neck profiles aren't too thin that they fatigue my hands. Like my RG655, I love it to death. It's probably my best sounding guitar, but the neck is so thin I can't play it for too long. Just because I'm getting older, you know, you get inflamed, things like that. And then my J Custom is an absolute beast. I love that thing to death. I'm always going to keep it. The tone zone in the bridge is pretty useful. It is a bit warm for my uses, so I don't use it all the time. But for this guitar, I'm thinking if I do get sick of these pickups, because these actually, they're not fantastic, but these pickups, the V7 and the V8, they don't sound that bad. Like I could use these. They're very usable. That's a good way to describe them. So if I was going to make this like a primary, like a number one guitar, of course I'd block the bridge, but then the pickups, I don't know, would I go with DiMarzio? Would I go with bare knuckles? I'd probably do one of those. I'm sure Seymour Duncan has a bunch of nice offerings, but I haven't tried too many of those pickups. I have used the JB and Jazz, and they're all right. The JB has a bit too much trouble for me personally. It was a fantastic pickup though, given the age of the design. But especially after playing the Pia, experiencing modern passive pickup design, or with those bare knuckle aftermaths, experiencing those. There's so many fantastic options these days. What do you think I should put in this guitar? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. But I don't know, I'm thinking maybe DiMarzio, maybe bare knuckle pickup, because there's fantastic stuff there. Probably something more modern voice, just because I do like layering a bunch of guitars, and I need something more focused to cut through. But I'm also open to suggestion too. So in conclusion, this guitar has improved greatly since the initial review just because it's gotten more stable. I've really enjoyed it. Of course, the square neck heel is a thing, but it's not the end of the world, so you can reach the 24th fret like this. You do gotta just get your thumb right there and you're on that square. But again, it's not the end of the world, especially for me. I have no excuse. See all the guitars behind me? I have no excuse. So yeah, was this useful information? Was this a good update on this guitar? Let me know down below. You know, this is YouTube. I have to say the YouTube things. Like the video, comment, subscribe, share the video. Be sure to print out every frame and mail it to everyone you know. And as always, peace.